in black was there. Well, exactly. They must have discounted it. That's strange, isn't it? It's like they don't believe that witness. The witnesses said he saw a man in black twice. Rebecca Smith is just saying nobody strange was in the area. And like you say, it's not necessarily because we think that he might, in fact, whoever that man was, mystery man, might not have done anything, but he might have seen something. I just think it's very strange that they haven't pursued that more. Yeah, hi Princess, hi Maltese, hi Foundry. Well, that's it. Hi Maria, that Foundry, I agree. I'm hoping for an open verdict, but I think the family are just keen that it shouldn't be self-deletion, aren't they? So if they have to accept accidental death, that's preferable. And then, of course, another, they just don't want that self-deletion verdict. And then as far as insurance, I mean, I don't know if there was any insurance, but insurance normally don't pay out, do they? If they've got like what used to be called an endowment mortgage or whatever, they don't pay out on that. So, and I think as well, as far as the grandparents are concerned, that wouldn't be nice for the children, would it, that verdict? So, I mean, nothing's nice. Obviously, they've lost the mum, but... so I think that's why they're really keen, Barry, for that verdict. I think because they don't want the self-deletion verdict. That's why, I think. So they don't want... Yeah, they don't want the self-deletion verdict. But, yeah, they shouldn't influence the coroner, but... I didn't know that the hi Leslie, I didn't know, that you could take that you would be represented at an inquest, because it's not criminal court, is it? So there's a lot of things that I don't understand about this, but the main things that I haven't understood or don't really get is the man in black thing, the screams. The thing of Paul saying that they normally took the harness off Willow, when clearly there's loads of photos when Willow's had the harness on. Hi David, hi Desi, hi Rachel. Well, her parent, the representative, the legal representative of her parents, not them, has asked the coroner for an accidental death verdict. Literally asked for it. I'll read out again in case, because obviously perhaps you missed it earlier. The family's barrister urged the coroner to return a conclusion of accidental death. But I think, it's more because they don't want that other verdict, the big S verdict. You should be able to see that now. This is the Lancashire Post, yeah. Clarification around the scream heard. Bearing in mind, they've spelt bearing wrong, but never mind, I'm always spelling things wrong. Bearing in mind the timing of the screams mentioned in yesterday's evidence, the family submit through their barrister that they are irrelevant to proceedings. How do with respect, how do the family know they're irrelevant to the proceedings? Yeah, I think they're going strong for this accidental verdict because they're too worried that it might end up being the self-deletion verdict. Or maybe they just they don't want an open verdict either, because they don't want it to drag on and on and on. So to them, the lesser of two evils, if you like, is accidental death, isn't it? They certainly don't want the self-deletion verdict. But I suppose the thing is, you can say anything to the coroner. At the end of the day, they're the family, they're going to say what they think. But the coroner will make it, he takes into account what people say, I suppose. But at the end of the day, it's going to come to his own conclusion. I just think they don't want him to come to the self-deletion verdict. And I can't see that they can say that the screams are irrelevant to proceedings. How can they say that? They don't know. They were at 9:30. 9:30 in the morning, just as Nicola disappears, you hear a scream. 2 people hear screams, and they're going to say they're irrelevant. How are they irrelevant? That's just not possible, is it? Yeah, suicide life insurance doesn't pay out. But, you know, I wouldn't have thought that Nicola's parents would look on it that way. Do you know what I mean? I can see how Paul, but see, you just don't know who the family are. They say the family, I don't know it. You don't know who they mean. Do they mean all of them? Exactly. It's the coroner's court. It's the coroner. Technically, it's just got to be, coroner has got to be completely neutral, surely. Well, you know, Nicola Marie, what you're saying there, Nicola Marie is saying that she's seen a picture yesterday at the inquest of 2 of Nicola's friends, and one of them looked like Emma with sunglasses and no makeup. Now, one of the people I know that are at the trial, she was convinced Emma was there yesterday, but then later on she sent me a message and said, I don't think it is Emma, but she's like her twin, but maybe she's just being like low key, didn't put her eyelashes on, you know. Emma's a bit of a master of disguise, isn't she? She can have the cap pulled down where you wouldn't even know it was her. You might think it was a man in black, even though she's not 6'1". But you know, people can make mistakes about God. Ooh, it sort of gives me the creeps a bit. People can make mistakes about height and things like that when they see them from a distance. You know, Emma can look like different people, can't she? I mean, that picture of Emma when she had that first interview, when she had the cap pulled down over her eyes, compared to the future interviews, I wouldn't have known that was Emma. So we'll see. She's barking because of fireworks. Hey! I'm going to have to put it down. People are letting off bangers outside, so she will bark. Come on. No, you can't do that. Go on. Here. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. Go on, you can't move it. Come on. Good girl. She always has the last word. But yeah, I don't want her out here barking when the results coming in. When the verdict's coming in, you know, it's important that you can talk about it. God, do you know what dogs are like? Kids, they know when you know, if I was just sat here and wasn't doing anything, she won't make a peep. And then as soon as you start talking to anybody else, that's it. Gosh, God. Okay. Right, well, it hasn't caught, it says, well, it has changed. It just says inquest due to resume shortly. Gosh, I feel sick. I don't know about you. I feel almost sick. God knows how the family do feel. Well, they won't want that suicide verdict, that's for sure. But I don't think they're going to get that. They're definitely not going to get that. There's been nothing that has been presented really, apart from, you know, the fact that she was having problems sleeping and things like that. But you know, the doctor said there was no you know, she hadn't mentioned anything about suicidal ideation or anything like that. There's nothing to prove that. So I can't see how that conclusion can become to. But I still feel a bit sick because I want it to be an open verdict. But if they're pushing for an accidental death verdict, you know, gosh. Anyway, okay, so the inquest is due to resume shortly. Everyone is assembling in the council chamber ahead of senior coroner Dr. James Adeley returning to his conclusion. To recap, he has been urged by Nicky's family barrister Sophie Cartwright Casey to return a conclusion of accidental death. Gosh, yeah. So I'll just keep going amongst the different, eventually they'll start giving updates, because I wouldn't imagine he's not just going to go, oh, the verdict is this. He's going to talk about it, obviously. He'll make, like, I suppose he'll do some sort of a summing up. You know, I would imagine. I've been trying to remember about the inquest I attended because it's so long ago. It's funny how things start to get blurred in your mind, don't they? And I'm trying to think how the verdict was announced. So I don't even remember actually going away and coming back again. I feel like it was all done sort of within a couple of hours there and then, which it may have been, because it was a much, I mean, this has been complicated. That inquest I attended, it was very much more straightforward, I suppose. Yes, it does feel like the family can influence the verdict. This is what happens quite often. Actually, it does happen quite often. Families, you know, families who can afford to have a legal counsel, etc. Hi, Karen. You got your shopping done, did you? Quick. Yeah, because we're all like, I've got shopping arriving. I did an internet shop, and that'll probably arrive. You can bet it's going to arrive right in the middle of everything, you know. But that's just, remember, that's sod's law, isn't it? That's what we call that. As soon as we start getting into it. Yeah. I think it's the definition of an open verdict, surely, is when the actual facts cannot be established of what happened. And surely, in this case, the facts can't be established, can they? You know, it's so contradictory. So contradictory. You know, and that scream, the screams that were, to me, I think she may have been pushed in. And then going back to the why she wasn't found for all that time. You know, that has got to be like some sort of incompetence. Because, you know, now the police are saying, oh, well, she would have fell in there and she would have gone up there and she would have done. Oh, they know everything now that would have happened. But at the time, they didn't search properly. You know, it's crackers. It's sort of, yeah, they did it well. They didn't treat it as a crime scene from the beginning, did they? They treated it right from day one, from minute one. She'd gone into the river. Now, when did this evidence come in? You know, when did the guy say that he'd seen the man in black? So then, why was she so dismissive of the man in black? It's almost like she's saying that witness that said he saw a man in black twice gave a detailed description of the man in black. I've got the message here. Exactly what was said, because one of the people I know that are there wrote it all down verbatim, word for word. Let's see, what did she say? Let's go through it. So this was the description. So it was a detailed description of this man in black. See, we're not talking about a witness just saying, oh, I saw, you know, someone in the distance. They said a man in black jeans, hoodie and beanie hat with a round face, 6'1", around 45 years old, was seen by this Roger, who in fact is Ron. You know, so, but then the police just dismissed that and said there was nobody strange in the area. But I mean, you know, the coroner must be thinking this as well. The coroner's got the same aim. He's not stupid. He's going to look at it and think, well, 1 minute there's this man in black, the screams, and then the police officers say, no, there definitely wasn't any foul play. Yeah, right, we've talked about this case for all these months and all the things. And is it just going to end up as an accidental death verdict? But if it was accidental, if there was some evidence it was accidental death, if there was, like, I don't know, if the dog's ball was in the river, because she'd been trying to, which I don't think she would have tried to get the ball, but let's say she did, where's the ball then? Why? There is no proof that it was accidental death. There was no marks, no scuffs, no signs of the reeds being pulled up if she was trying to get back out again. Oh, he's returned. So come on then. I best get on there. What's going on in Manchester? He says that armed police are swarming around Piccadilly Station. God, what's going on in the world? I don't know. Just shows you dramas go on all over the world, but there's always other dramas going on too. So right. I feel like I've got a really sort of heavy heart. It's funny. Do we all feel like that? It's like a bit of a, I just feel, I just got a heavy heart thinking about this. Well, it's sort of getting to the point now where even accidental death, he can't come up with a suicide verdict, can he? Just can't. Impossible for him to come up with that. But it's like I have got this very heavy feeling. I don't know. Yeah, Annie, do you know what I mean? It's a weird feeling. It's like, I don't know what it is. I think, yeah, we've all been so involved in it. We've all thought that, something. We've all been waiting. I'm here, Yogi. I'm here. Can you not see me? I'm here. Hello. I'm here at the side. Yes, a dark feeling. I've got a dark feeling, Vicky. Why have I got dark feeling? I shouldn't have a dark feeling because he's not going to come up with the S verdict. He can't. That would be the worst verdict, wouldn't it? The self-deletion verdict would definitely be the worst verdict. Come on. Oh, dear me. He must have started speaking by now. Conclusion imminent. Dr. James Adley is due to return imminently to give his findings and deliver a conclusion. The family having asked Nicola Bulley's death to be recorded. He's there. He's back. 14:25. Dr. James Adley returns. He's back to report his findings. He started recapping the evidence that we've heard over the last couple of days. I actually feel sick, I think. I feel sick to my stomach. It's weird. It's weird, this feeling that I've got. I'm just waiting for who's going to be the first ones to report it. I'm going to have a look on Twitter as well at the same time. Sometimes some of you in chat seem to get it before. I don't know what you're looking at, but I'm surprised Mark Williams wasn't there this morning. He didn't give any updates this morning. Maybe he's back in there now. he's still not in there. I wonder why he didn't go today. That just seems odd to me. But maybe he had other things to do. Yeah, we were saying that, Chris, the family barrister urged them to accept their findings. And they said that the screams had nothing to do with the... but how do they know that? I don't understand that. Yes, do you know, that's that came out that she had banged her head when she fell over or something. Oh, here, the coroner's summing up the case, so I'll read it out to you. The coroner, James Aidley, is back in court and summing up the case. He reminds all present that the inquest is not dealing with the police operational response to Nicky's disappearance. He says that Miss Bulley was last seen alive by fellow dog walker Claire Chesham at 9:10. At 9:18, she adjusted the volume of her, it was at 9:18, she adjusted the volume of her conference call on her mobile. PC Keith Greenhalgh examined her Fitbit. It recorded steps in 15-minute segments. On January the 27th, she walked 4,548 steps between 8 and 9:30 a.m. Between 9:15 and 9:30 a.m., she walked 273 steps. No further steps after 9:30. At 9:22, the Fitbit recorded a substantially increased heart rate. Penny Fletcher arrived at the bench at 9:33. Miss Bulley was nowhere to be seen, but Willow was found and the dog's harness was found between the bench and the river. Miss Bulley was last seen alive at 9:10, interacted with her phone at 9:18, and Mrs. Fletcher found Willow at 9:33. This provides a maximum window of 15 minutes when she went into the river, says the coroner. The riverbank, he adds, had an almost vertical drop. At the base, a stone wall had been built to prevent further erosion, and this provides, it's going to be accidental death, and this provided no footholds or handholds. If you fell here, you would certainly enter the water, said Dr. Aidley, but yes, if you fell there. He said the opposite bank, 20 metres away, was also a difficult site to climb out from. The coroner said the flow on the river on the day Miss Bulley died made it almost impossible to get out. Right, that's it so far. But where's the proof that she fell in? It's no good. You could say, oh, well, yeah, if something happened, but we don't know. Where's the proof? Where's the proof? Right, come on, let's have some more. So it sounds like whatever happened at 9:22, because that's when the Fitbit recorded a substantially increased heart rate. So whatever happened to Nicky, it seems likely that it was at 22 minutes past 9, bless her. And then literally 11 minutes later, Penny Fletcher arrived at the bench. I'm presuming that they know exactly what time Penny arrived at the bench from her phone. Yeah, from the data on her phone, I would imagine. Because otherwise, how could they be so precise? So from what he said so far, said about the vertical drop to the river. But why would she go near the edge? There is no reason why she would go near. Well, what do you think? Did she trip over the dog? Oh, no. I can't see that. What do we think? What are we thinking? Yes, possibly something scared her at 9:22, and then yeah, because it was 9:30. The phone was moved to the bench, wasn't it? Yeah, and nobody heard anything, nobody saw anything, nobody heard a splash, they heard a scream. At least two people heard a scream. No splash, no willow barking. Yeah, in 8 minutes from 9:22 till 9:30. Wasn't it 9:30 the phone was put on the bench or moved to the bench as they kept saying it? Yeah, and you know, someone, Vegan Claire, was saying that that's how you can dial for help by using the volume. Yes, there's no proof, Ali, agree. No proof, no proof. So let's see anything else, if anything else has come up. We'll see what he comes up with. We've got to wait, I suppose. Here we go. In his summing up, the coroner says Miss Bulley would have been able to reach the bottom of the river until she had travelled for at least 40 metres downstream. He's going to say, but he doesn't know that she's fallen in the river. Two world-class experts, according to them, I don't even remember that from yesterday, but they said they were the world's renowned experts. They said Dr. Paddy Morgan and Professor Mike Tipton said she would have been overwhelmed by cold water shock after falling into the river. If she fell in the river, the water temperature was 3.6 degrees. They said 4 yesterday, but never mind. Would have elicited a powerful response in her, not related to body size, but the rapid cooling of the skin. Her clothing, too, would not have slowed her response to cold water shock. Adrenaline, says the coroner, is released immediately, which can cause a person's heart to stop instantaneously. If this doesn't occur, there is an overwhelming urge to gasp. If Miss Bulley's head was underwater, there's a lot of ifs in here. She could have inhaled 2 litres of water, which would have been a lethal dose. There was a good chance her first breath was underwater, adds the coroner. So obviously she didn't have time to scream then. Too many ifs, too many ifs. Even if she was above the water and she then became submerged, increased heart rate and blood rate would have used oxygen at a rate where she would have lost consciousness between 48 seconds. But this was highly optimistic and would more likely have been 30 seconds with it. I'm going to have to write a letter tomorrow to this coroner. I can feel it already coming on. With increasingly impaired consciousness, the inquest is solved. Great, I've got my neighbour fucking drilling next door now. It just, I tell you, it's weird. The coroner says the evidence showed Miss Bulley would have died before reaching the first point in the river where she could have touched the bottom. She had no alcohol in her bloodstream at the time of her death, and the cause of death was due to drowning. The coroner says that the evidence shows... No, it doesn't. The evidence shows that such was the shock of immersion. If she went in, where does the evidence show that she did fall in? Miss Bulley was unable to stand up or float. Yes, the evidence shows that if she fell in, that might have happened, but there is no evidence to show that she fell in. Come on. Come on. Oh my God. This is just, to me, it's just awful. Awful. All this would have, if, surely, I thought courts didn't deal with would have and ifs. You know, you deal with evidence. My gosh. Let's have it. Are you all okay? Or are you feeling like me? Because I don't feel okay. So 922, her heart rate, is it? Then, oh my goodness. It's the man in black. That they don't even, he's not even mentioned the man in black. Even if he was to say, oh, we don't think the man in black had anything to do with this, what they're just going to say, not even mention the man in black. Why even present them? Why even present it in the court? No slip marks. Oh my God. You know, I'm not saying we know that she was pushed, or we know, but we don't know the opposite. So if would have, if, come on. John Smith, I fell into Loch Ness. Somebody else fell into Loch Ness as well, who was in chat. People fall into cold water, they don't die. People go cold water swimming. Where's the evidence? They keep telling us about evidence. So let's see, has he actually... So police contacted the owners of 700 cars in the aftermath. The coroner addresses possible involvement of third parties. He says, oh my God, he says all of the witnesses who were in the area did not note anyone suspicious in the area of the field where Miss Bulley was walking, except the man in black, of course. Detective Superintendent Rebecca Smith said CCTV of 3 of the 4 entry points to the field showed nobody acting unusually. CCTV from the 4th point only showed one direction, but this also showed nobody. Police contacted the owners of 700 cars which passed the road and examined dashcam footage, but nothing unusual was spotted. A pathologist said there was no evidence Nikki was assaulted, nor that a third party was involved. So he's not even mentioned the man in black there. Oh my God, like I'm in a parallel universe. You've got a witness that said he saw a man in black twice, a man in black that nobody knows who it was, and he's saying all of the witnesses who were in the area did not know anyone suspicious in the area of the field where Miss Bulley was walking. That's not actually true, is it, James? Is he going to mention? Maybe he'll mention the man who's got to mention it. Surely you can't just discount it and pretend that it was never that the witness never said he saw him. And also, yeah, although the bank is steep, it's not. Oh my God. And that very day, the river, no, what shit, coroner, I thought he'd be a good coroner. Things he should at least mention the man in black. Should mention the man in black. Somebody else fell into the lakes. Oh, dear me. Yeah. And yeah, well, that's very true. Assuming that everyone had a mobile phone with them, John Smith, they might, if somebody was going in there, criminals are quite aware of things like that. Quite often they don't take the mobile phones with them when they're doing things because they know that the police can find them easily. God. Is he going to not even mention that man in black? Right, okay, let's see, anything else? It's actually specific. Oh, there you go. The coroner records a conclusion of accidental death. The coroner says it is likely that Miss Bulley entered the water at 9:22 a.m. when her Fitbit recorded a significant spike in her heart rate. He says he is unable to determine exactly why she entered the water. Well, thank God he actually fucking says, excuse my French, but he's unable to determine exactly why she entered the water, but he's recorded a verdict of accidental death. He fucking doesn't know why she entered the water. He's just said that he doesn't know why she entered the water. So, right, I don't know why, she entered the water, but it's accidental death. Fuck off. Right, got to stop swearing. Oh my God. He's unable to determine exactly why she entered the water. The coroner says that he finds on January the 27th at around 9:22 a.m. Nicola Jane Bulley fell into the River Wire and died almost immediately. He says of suicide there is an absence of any evidence, which there is, and at least he hasn't come to that fucking conclusion. No sign of natural causes. Oh, she didn't die of natural causes. And the only remaining conclusion is accidental death. Isn't the only remaining conclusion an open verdict? A conclusion he records. Well, there you go. There you go. That's it. That's the verdict, even though there's no evidence. And I'll tell you something I will be doing. I will be writing to that coroner, because I don't know what happens then when a verdict. Is that it? Will there be no more? Oh God, should have been an open. Even just the way he says that there. He is unable to determine exactly why she entered the water. So how can that be an accidental death? If he can't determine how she entered the water, that's not accidental. That's open. If he can't determine how she entered the water, it's an open verdict. What the hell? Am I going cracking? Am I cracking up or what? But I will be. I will definitely be. And I would advise you all, honestly, if you're annoyed with that verdict, you should to write to the coroner's court at Preston. I mean, I've been speechless a few times through this, but yeah, crazy. Can't be accidental death when he's just said in his own words he doesn't know how she entered the water. So he doesn't know how she entered the water. All right, if he's satisfied she entered the water, but doesn't know how she entered the water. So anyone could have. So I'll tell you what I would advise anyone, and what I'm going to say to him when I send him an email is, don't go and walk near to any rivers, or I hope your children or your loved ones don't go and walk near any rivers that somebody might push them into, and then their coroner will turn around and say, well, it's accidental death, even though I can't establish how they actually fell into the water. I'm so angry about that. So angry. You know, you can't say you don't know how she ended up in the water and then say it's an accidental death, because when you don't know, it means you don't know. You don't know. I'm sorry, I'm just going to let the dog out because she's getting upset. I don't want her getting upset. Hey, baby. Oh, I need to get a cuddle off the dog, I think. Move. Now, I mean, I think Nikki's parents, they're going to be happy, obviously, with that verdict, because they didn't want the suicide verdict. But yeah, exactly, Bonnie. I think it does contradict itself in one sentence. I'm unable to establish how she fell in the water, so it's accidental death. Okay, let's just think about that for a minute. So I don't know how that woman ended up with a dagger in her chest. So it must be accidental death. Crazy. But yeah, I think for parents, they would just be just not wanting it to be suicide. Do you know that Paul got a really as a local now? I don't know about that, Jeanette, but I think it is. Yes, the insurance. There'll be insurance coming. that's for sure. Accidental death. I wonder if the GoFundMe will come down now. Let's just have a look at the GoFundMe again. I haven't had a look at that for a week or so, or what last time, I think when I was on a live probably. I won't show it on the thing because he's got a photo of his kids on there and his photoshopped face. Yes, it's still the same as when I looked out the other day. The last donation was 5 days ago, £5 from Richard Howard. And the total is £38,611, which is a lot of money. But really, I think, you know, if people really believed that Paul was genuine, I think it would have reached a lot higher. I'm just thinking, just looking at Nicky's face there and that, I wonder, gosh, you know, you just wish that you could have been a fly on the wall. And so anyone could have pushed her into that water. We don't know the man in black, as he said that there were none of the witnesses came up with a suspicious, with anybody suspicious in the area, but clearly one of the witnesses did. Oh. What? And the scream's been discounted as if this. Who said the scream should have been discounted? Looking at those little girls' faces, I'll tell you. Anyway, so it's on £38,611, the GoFundMe. So we'll see what happens now, because after the verdict, people might go one of two ways. You know, some people might now think, oh, well, it's been found accidental death, so we'll donate. Or other people might think, oh, no, we won't need the donations now at all to look after the kids because the insurance will pay out now. So I bet you any money he's got life insurance on. Oh, that's bad thinking, but I just can't help it. Ooh. Let's see. How do we feel? Yeah, an insult to all our intelligence, isn't it, Vicky, really? Gosh. So, well, you know, Ali, I think you're right. I think Emma will reappear now. Emma, now let's think about this. Emma was all over the interviews, this, that, and the other. Then she just disappeared. She's not even appeared at the inquest. She's not been called for evidence. So all this interjecting herself into this case, she wasn't so important in the case, even though she quite often said that she'd seen her and would said, oh, we're all going on our busy routines of the day, and oh, you know, poor Nicola and poor Paul, and you put all the magic together and it's what dreams are made of, all that. And then she disappeared completely. Now she's not been seen at the inquest. And I think you're right, Ali. I think she will reappear now. I think that's exactly what will happen now. Well, and you know what? You're right. What they're having a GoFundMe, and they can afford a lawyer for the case, which most people, to be honest, because I was thinking, God, I don't remember having a solicitor like that, but I wouldn't have been able to afford one anyway. But maybe I just didn't need one. But the dog's squeaking the ball. I don't know if there'll be a press conference. Let's see, because there must be some sort of. That'd be interesting, actually. Will they now? You know, because they've been so quiet, because the coroner wouldn't let anyone talk until the inquest. So, of course, now the inquest passed, the verdict's been recorded. Will interviews start up again? Do you know what I think is going to happen? I've thought it right from the beginning. There's going to be a Netflix documentary. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's already. This is the shopping. Right, sorry, I've just got a sign for this. And then I'll be back with you.
Aquí.
Sí, por aquí. Gracias.
A ver, voy a por la bolsa. Faltan 2 tónicas rosas.
¿Dos?
2 tónicas
Ah.
no las han traído.
Oh, no, pero eso es, necesito esto. Eso es lo más.
Sí, es que no lo han puesto, pero no lo han traído.
Ya, pero eso es lo más importante para mí. Es por eso, bueno.
Sí. Claro, no.
Es que
a mí me han llamado ahora para decirme lo que faltaban 2 tónicas rosas.
Ya, pero ¿qué pasa si es que no me van a traer ahora, no?
No, se lo cancelan.
¿Pero por qué?
No sé, ha sido fallo de ellos, no lo sé.
Oh, pero normalmente me llaman si
Sí,
no hay.
sí, pero no, ya no llaman. Ya no suelen llamar.
Bueno, yo no puedo pedir más, entonces, porque no puedo tener eso
Yo te entiendo, pero claro, yo soy mandado, yo no,
sí,
no
lo sé, pero es una pena, pero no puedo pedir más, porque no puedo pedir cosas, y si no los tienen, no me llaman, no hacen nada, no puedo más.
La entiendo perfectamente, la entiendo.
Ok.
Te voy a por más cosas. Entiendo perfectamente.
Es que si me hubiera llamado, podría haber pedido Coca-Cola o algo diferente.
Es que no llaman.
Yeah.
Así, llevo un día hoy con ellos, todo el rato equivocándose, yendo a otro lado. Ay, no, que metí una cosa que no era de aquí.
Ya, lo siento por ti.
No, lo siento yo por usted.
Ya, pero es tú que tienes que hacer la cara a la gente y la cara.
Sí, la verdad que sí. Pero voy a tachar lo de los... A ver si viene aquí, mira, ¿ves? Ponía 2, pero no lo han mandado. Por eso me han llamado, que se han confundido, ¿vale?
¿Pero han sacado el dinero o qué?
No, se lo hacen ellos, se lo hacen el descuento y ellos se lo hacen el descuento.
Okay, vale, yo llamo luego para checar.
Aquí. Perfecto, y esto para usted.
Ok, vale, gracias.
Pues muchas gracias. Y mejor, muy bien el español.
Vale, gracias.
Gracias.
Oh, God, the day's just getting worse all the time. Come on now, you can come out now. Hey, it's me again, so sorry. I'm back. So, yes, do you know what's going? So, disaster has struck. They brought my shopping and they haven't brought the tonic. So, I ordered some tonic and they haven't brought it. It was a mistake. I want my tonic. But anyway, never mind. There's nothing I can do about it now. So, I've got to phone up and complain later. Okay, so going back to this. Oh gosh. Yes, I feel like something might yeah. I think they will disappear from that area. Yeah. Look out for the Netflix documentary. That's what I think is going to happen. But anyway. Oh, is it next week you come to Spain, Jack? I thought you were coming last week, but Peter has just posted a link to a Mirror article. Let's have a look. I've got Peter on Facebook. Let's see. I can't see anything from Peter. Now Peter did go on. I presume you mean Peter Folding, don't you? He did go on Facebook. He did say that somebody was using his photo and his name to impersonate him, but it's a Twitter account. I can't see anything on there. Let's see. Let's see what they're saying in, in the Nicola Bulley Facebook. On the Nicola Bulley talk, they seem quite happy. Oh no, people aren't happy with it. Some people are happy. It's going to be one of those, isn't it? Some people will be happy with the verdict. I think we're all happy that it's not the suicide verdict. I think we're all happy about that. I think one thing that we can agree on, probably all of us, whichever side of the fence we're on, we all agree that, God, the dog's back. I think we can all agree that we're glad it's not the suicide verdict, can't we? We all agree with that, don't we? But I don't think many people, it could be fake because I can't see it. I'm on Peter Folding's Facebook here and I can't find it. Peter tweeted it. Someone's been faking his tweets and things. Gin and bitter lemon. I'm so angry that they haven't brought me tonic. It's pink. I like. I mean, I just like the tonic on its own sometimes because it's refreshing. But I like the pink tonic, and that's what I ordered. And so I'm going to have to go to the shops now and get, which is not a problem really, except it's boiling hot. It's like 31 degrees. So I didn't really fancy walking up to the shops, but I think I will because I'm just been looking forward to this, to a vodka and tonic, especially after all this. So you come out on the on Monday the 3rd, Jackie. Yeah, I deserve a gin and tonic. Yeah, I'm not a big gin lover, but maybe gin for a change. I normally would have a vodka and tonic, but if somebody asks me something, then yeah, I don't know if we can see Peter's tweet because I don't. Let's have a look. See if I can find it. I feel really sort of deflated. It's like, yeah. See, I'll show you this. Hang on. See, this is what Peter Folding himself said. Please be aware that someone is using my photo and my name to impersonate me on Twitter. This account was created yesterday. To confirm I am not associated with this account, there have been a number of new accounts used since February in different names with fake photos. It's what, some people, that's what they do with their lives. It's like those trolls or that troll. It's probably another YouTube creator that we've got on that we had on the chat this morning. They go on there, they duplicate people's accounts, then try and frighten them into thinking that they've hacked their accounts. People, you can never underestimate how strange people can be. I mean, most people are lovely. They are. The majority. The trouble is you remember the nasty people more sometimes. That's a problem. Over the years, I've had so many students, have come to me to learn Spanish. And, 98% of them have been lovely. And then you've got 2% of sort of nasty people sometimes. And unfortunately, they do have an effect on you, don't they? Because it's upsetting when someone's nasty. So maybe it was him. So someone's saying there that he's tweeted this Daily Mirror. We'll go on to that link because that's okay. This is the result of the inquest. Mum drowned after falling into cold water in tragic accident. I am absolutely. The more I think about it, the more I just think, how can you say that? Yeah, some people, it's sad. I try and feel, so that's how I try and get through with these trolls and things, is I just try and feel sorry for them because I think, well, they're pretty pathetic, really, aren't they? So, but that's right. How sad and lonely must you be to sit and pretend to be someone else? So we should feel sorry for them. We should feel sorry for them. What are you going to have? Oh, a Merlot before 5 today. Well, do you know what? A friend of mine, he says that it's always, he always says it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. Might not be 5 o'clock where you are, but it's 5 o'clock here. When it's 4 o'clock where you are, it'll be 5 o'clock here because we're in an hour ahead. Yeah, I think we should all have a G&T. A toast to Nicola tonight we should have. Yeah, I've got to go to the shop yet and get the bloody tonic, which is really annoying. So you get a supermarket shop, you pay for a supermarket shop, but you still got to go to the shop. But yeah, at least not suicide. I think that's something we can all agree on. That would have been absolutely, awful for everyone, for the family, obviously. I think I don't think anything else will come out. Vicky, I think that might be the last thing. Let's just go back and see if there's any follow-up. Maybe there'll be a riot at the thing, but no, nothing else has come up. The only thing, and I just want to read this again, just bearing in mind that yesterday we were all stunned by the testimony of one of the witnesses who reported a man in black. Mr. Aidley here says all of the witnesses who were in the area did not note anyone suspicious in the area of the field where Miss Bulley was walking. So that's just not true, is it? It's not true. All the witnesses who were in the area did not know anyone suspicious in the area of the field where Miss Bulley was walking, whereas yesterday one of the witnesses stated clearly that he saw a man in black twice, and we have never found out who that man in black is. So what? And if it was important enough to be read out in court about the man in black, how can he now say that all of the witnesses who were in the area did not know anyone suspicious? Yeah, so thank you, Sheila. Yes, don't forget to like. We're not feeling like liking things at the moment, I know, but if you think on, please like the video. I'll put that up, put Sheila's up there. Thank you, Sheila. Oh dear. So, yeah, so what was the point of him even giving that evidence about the man in black? What was the point? Then he's just going to ignore that evidence. Ooh. I'm in the south, Sadie. I'm in the south of Spain. 1 meter vertical drop. Oh, do Tesco's do that as well? What annoys me is, I would have, it's a bit of a long story, but I couldn't, the supermarket I normally use, I couldn't get they didn't have a free slot today. So I went to this other supermarket because they had a free slot today. But the main reason I did that is because it was the tonic that I didn't have for today. All the other things I could have waited till tomorrow for. The tonic was the one thing I haven't got. Not only I haven't got tonic, in fact, I'm getting thirsty now. I've got no fizzy drinks, cold drinks, and it's hot. And so that was really the main reason why I even got them to come in the first place. And normally what they used to do is if, what they're supposed to do, if they haven't got what you want, they phone you up, and it's happened loads of times, and they phone up and say, oh, we don't have these, but I can give you this instead. But the guy just told me they don't do that anymore. So, yeah, let's just hope the man in black doesn't strike. It's probably going to happen now. Some poor person will be pushed in by the man in black and buy you a coffee before you walk to the shop. It's always the things you need that you want that they miss, isn't it? The things you could do without, the boring things. And you think, oh, yeah, that wouldn't matter if they didn't bring that. They always bring that. I must say, though, actually, just remembering I did need dog food as well. So that could have waited till tomorrow. Everything could have waited till tomorrow except the tonic. Ay, Dios, 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 Dios. That means God. Yes, if the Fitbit was reached its highest point, didn't it, at 9:22, the phone moved to the bench 8 minutes later. 8 minutes later, it moved to the bench. How did it do that? Yeah, like say one of those self-drying phones with legs. So what if the Men in Black was this, you know, did do something, the Man in Black, and there's someone else going to get pushed into? Because the thing is, all those neighbours, everybody said, everybody walks, they stay away from the river, they know not to go too close to the river. Nicola wouldn't have gone too close to the river. Why would she have done? Why would she have done? There's absolutely no reason for her to go near to the edge of the river. No, I think it was 9:30, Vicky. It was 9:22. Was it 9:20? Let's see where we find out. I thought it was 9:22. The Fitbit. I need to look at it all. I've got it all over in bits and pieces that people sent me with their notes and stuff like that, all the exact things. But I need to sit and write it all down. Look, I've just had that's something else. That's to do with Spanish classes. Let's see. I don't know if it might be up here. Let's see the timeline. Right, okay. Okay, so what it says is the timeline that the coroner said in his summing up. Miss Bulley was last seen alive by fellow dog walker Claire Chesham at 9:10. At 9:18, she adjusted the volume of her conference call on her mobile phone. That's strange, isn't it? Why did she adjust the volume? Anyway. So, at 9:22, the Fitbit recorded a substantially increased heart rate. Doesn't say when the phone moved to the bench. It just says that Penny Fletcher then arrived at 9:33 and she was nowhere to be seen. Interacted with her phone. Yeah. I thought it was 9:30. So between 9:15 and 9:30, she walked 273 steps. And then after 9:30, no further steps. So I'm just wondering if at 9:22, so how did she walk 273 steps if she was in the water? Or are they saying that she was walking trying to get out? Doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, none of it makes sense to me at all. Really, just ridiculous. And I do remember when Peter Falding said that the only way she could have gone, in his eyes, that she could have gone into the river and gone right down the river was if she would have been pushed in. I mean, and I still think, was she ever at that river? I mean, she spoke to the mums in the school, you know, as she was leaving the school. Oh, there was a sighting of her, wasn't there, going on to the Iron Bridge? Apparently, there was a sighting. He did say that, right? So I have to look at that. I have to sit down, assimilate it all, look at the evidence, but you know, and he's done that. Mr. Adlin has come up with that, but that conclusion of his, to me, is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. He is unable to determine exactly why she entered the water. There was no sign of natural causes, and the only remaining conclusion is accidental death. But he's unable to determine exactly why she entered the water. Those two sentences are a contradiction. No evidence. He's unable to determine exactly why she entered the water, but as there is no sign of natural causes, then the only remaining conclusion is accidental death. Not open. Not open. But it could just as easily have been someone pushing her in there as it could have been of her falling in there, because nobody saw it happen.